Hello all, welcome to this session of Kid Coders. And tonight we'll be doing a program on Scratch. I'll be showing you how Scratch works. My name is Mohit and I do this program at DoSpace, which is Kid Coders, and we do different things every week. Well, we have been doing different theme every month, but now we are doing different theme every week as we are doing things digitally, online. So tonight we'll be doing some things on Scratch, and I'm going to show you how we can use Scratch for some of the coding programs. So if any point of time, if you have any question, you can tell me, you can send me a message on the chat window, or you can unmute yourself, you can talk to me. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. I can see we have 4 attendees here today. Well, welcome all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. First of all, I'm sending you a chat message here on your chat window. And it'll be about the URL that we'll be using. This is the URL for your Scratch platform. And Scratch platform, you can just click on this URL and this will open Scratch on a new tab for you so that you can go and you can log in there. I'm going to show you how you can log in and how you can make your account. So we'll be using Scratch platform to see some of the activities that we can do. This is a free application developed by MIT, and it has been in the education resources from a very long time. And kids they have been using and they love using Scratch application because there are so many things that you can do. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how to use Scratch platform. If you face any difficulty using it, or if you have any question, please unmute yourself or write me a message on a chat window and I'll be able to answer for you. So right now, as you can see that we are on the Scratch window here, the URL I already sent you, and you can see it here too. This is Scratch, https://scratch.mit.edu. So if you are not able to go through the link that I send you, you can go to this link here and you can open Scratch in one of your browser on your computer. And then I have an account on Scratch, so I'm going to click here and click on sign in and enter my information so that I can log in into Scratch. But if you are using Scratch for the first time, I will ask you to take a few minutes and click on join Scratch and make an account. And why it is advisable to make an account on Scratch when you use it, because it saves your progress. So you can stop working on this anytime, and you can, whenever you will come back, it will save your progress if you have an account, and you can start from where you stopped working from the last time. And you can make small different projects and they will be on the Scratch website for you all the time. You just have to log in into Scratch platform by your account and you will be able to see all the things that you have done in the past. They will be saved in the Scratch domain by itself. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to use my username. It's my username. I'm going to enter my password here. And I'm going to click on sign in. Yeah, so I just logged in with my username and password. And if you create an account and you will sign in, then you will see your username here. So this is my username. And you can take any of the username that you want. And then if you do not have available username, you can put your numbers to it, and you can put your last name, or you can make different combination of username you like. So after you log in here, you will see icons like Scratch, Create, Explore, Ideas, About. And then if you scroll down here, you will see different projects, what people have made already. So it says feature projects. So these are some of the projects which people have been working this. So they share information here. So I was telling you that you can go to the home page. After you log in here, you will see your username on the right hand side. So this is my username here. I can log in and I can see all the projects which have been created by people. So you can create your own projects and you can share your own projects here. And then you can go inside of any project, like click on one of the project and you can see what is the code to that project. So for example, if I'm in this project, and if I want to see what this project looks like, what people are doing, I have to click on this green thing here. And so you will see someone has made this as a project. So you can create these projects by yourself too, pretty much similar projects, or maybe better than this. So you can see how this project has been made. And if you want to see the code of this project, you will go here and click on see inside. So if I click on see inside, I can see what is the code. So this is the code looks like to this project, which is a pretty long code, I would say. And this seems to be a pretty intense project for if you are a beginner. So we will start by a very easy project today, like a very basic project, so that I can give you some information how it works, and give you very basic details about it, so that then you can play by yourself, and you can see how the basic things works in Scratch. Okay, so I'm gonna go and click here on my stuff. So if you click on this drop down near to username, you will see my stuff. And my stuff is a page where you can save all of your projects here. So I made this cognitive load projects, and this is a very long project too. If I want to see this project, I can click on cognitive load, and then, so this is my project I made for one of my presentations. I wanted to see how Scratch works. So if I click on see inside, I can see what kind of code it is. So it's not a very big code, but then, yeah, not very good for beginners. So let's start and go ahead to the beginner projects and start with a very basic project here. So now if you want to create a new project, you want to learn how does it work, let's go click on create. So you will see create icon on the left hand side here, click on create here, and then a new canvas will open for you. It will say create project. Now you can give a project a name. That is the most important thing you should do when you start working on any project, because you are making all these projects under your username, and you want to make sure that you give each project a different name, a distinguished name, because so that you can differentiate between different projects. So give it a name. Let's give it a name, dance. I'm going to create a dance project. I'm going to create something, related to dance in this project. So you can go ahead and click on create, and then click, and this new page will open for you, and then you can write a name for this project. So I just chose name dance here. So you can choose a name, whatever you want. So this is the first step that you should do before you start working on the Scratch platform here. And in the meanwhile, while we are working on this, if you have any question, you can either unmute yourself or you can write me a chat. And then, you have to raise your hand. You will see that you can raise your hand, or you can write me a chat message, and then I will allow you to talk, and then you can talk and you can ask me questions, and then I will answer you. Okay. So before we start, I was telling that, you have to name your project. So I just created a project by clicking on create new, and I named it dance here. So name of my new project is dance. So let's look at some of the things here. What do we see on the Scratch platform main page create? So the first thing that you will see is file. So if you want to save this project, if you want to give it a different name, then you will use file option here. And then tutorials, as you can see different tutorials, how people are working on this project and what are they doing. And then this is obviously, we just discussed that if you want to name your project, this is a place you will name your project. And then you see these two icons here. So this is the green icon, like a small green flag. This is an icon to start projects. So whenever you write a code for your project, and if you want to start something, like how your project starts, so this is one of the controls. So you click on this green icon, and this will start for you. And on the side of the start, we have stop. So you can always use this. Also, as a stop icon. So whenever you want to stop your code, you will integrate this and your project will stop working. And there are some icons here. So this will, if you will take your icon on hover your mouse or your touchpad on these controls, you will see what do we do. So if I click here, it says it's a full screen control. So if I click here, I will be able to see the full screen project. Like how does it look when I am done with writing all of my code? Okay, so as I was saying, this is the option where you can click and you can go full screen and you can see how does it work. And so this is the option where you choose your character. So in the Scratch platform, you call character as sprite. So you can choose your sprites from here. So this is a different sprite here, like a cat. How do I play my, let's look at, we have some questions. Let's answer some questions first. How do I play my code to see what it looks like? So in order to play your code, you have to click on the green icon here. So I'll show you after. I'm making a very small project and I'll show you how it works. So you have to click on run. You have to choose one option from the control here. So do you see on the control, it's orange icon. When you click on control, events. When you click on events, and then you can choose any of these icons here. So these are the events which will start or which will make any changes to your code. So if I want to drag this, I can choose it as one of the first thing. And then when I click on this green flag, this will start working. So this is the answer to the first question we have here. And then we have a question from Evan. No, I don't have a microphone. Oh, I'm sorry. So you can write me a message here if you want to ask something, and then I'll try to answer it for you. Okay, so let's go further. So I was talking about sprite here. So you can, oh, thank you. So I was talking about sprite here. So like sprite is the character on which you want to work. So for example, if I don't like this cat, so this will give you a cat character sprite by default. But if I don't like it, I can just delete it by dragging it down here like this. And click on this recycle here. Do you see it recycle here? Click on this recycle and it will be deleted. So we have a question here. Yeah, you're welcome. Does it matter that I already do code.org and they are different. They are different, altogether different platforms. So we did code.org last week, but now this week we are doing Scratch. So they are different, but the basic is same, drag and drop coding. So yeah, so I was talking about if I want to choose a different sprite here. So do you see an icon here on the right hand side bottom? It says choose a sprite. So when you will click on this, a new page will open for you, and you will see so many numbers of things that you can do here. Like you can choose character from. You can choose character from music. You can choose character from sports. You can choose food. You can choose your favorite food. You can choose like pizza and tacos. You can choose things from fashion, music, dance, whatever you want. So like I wanted to do, so my name of my project is dance. So I'm going to choose something from dance. So I'm going to choose ballerina. So you click on ballerina and then she will appear on the screen. So I'm using a sprite, which I choose from here, which says choose a sprite. So I choose a sprite here, which is ballerina, and it will appear on the icon on the screen for you, which I'm going to work. And then on the right hand side, there's also very interesting thing which says choose a backdrop. So you can choose a backdrop for your character. For example, I choose ballerina for dance, and I would like to choose something for dance because I'm making these projects for dance. So I'm gonna choose let's say spotlight. So I click on spotlight, and then I will see that my ballerina is a character which is in the spotlight of the stage. So I have been teaching this to kids from a long time. Scratch, I did few classes in Scratch, and kids, they love it. They love to change backdrop, and they love to put different characters in front of different backdrops. And please try to make sure that you choose a character and you choose a backdrop before working on your coding. And then also I'm going to show in the later part of the class that how we can change these backdrops and characters when we go and play with codes. Okay, so I assume that you have a character and a backdrop for you. So I have a ballerina and I have a spotlight. And then you can click on your ballerina with your mouse and you can move her. So I want to move her in the middle of the, so I have just clicked it. I have just selected her. And then I'm just, dragging her here and there. So you can also move her. You can, so I want her to be in the middle of the stage. So I'm just keeping it here. So you can also move your character, and you can, if you want to make sure that she's in the middle of the screen, you can move her, which will be a good way to start. And then on the right hand side, you will see a message here that will keep on flashing. After a few seconds, that project has been saved. So you will see it here. It says project saved and save now. So this will give you a message that it's saving your progress as you go. So Scratch is a platform, it saves your progress as you work on this. So, or either you can go to file and you can save it as you work on this. Okay, so after you have a character and after you have a backdrop, what are we going to work on this? Do you see the character, the thing here, it says size and it says direction and it says X coordinate and Y coordinate. So X coordinate and Y coordinate is for sprite ballerina, which says all this whole column is about ballerina. So it says sprite ballerina, what are the X coordinate of ballerina, what are the Y coordinate of ballerina. And if you want to, if I click on show, it's showing ballerina. If I click on no show, ballerina will just disappear. And then size, for example, if I think that this is a shorter ballerina for me, I want to increase the size. So it was 100, I will change it to 150 and click on enter. So this will increase the size for ballerina. And then if I want to change the direction, so she is on 90-degree angle now. You will see the direction here. So you can also change it. For example, if I wanted, let's say 80, and then I click on enter, so this will change how she is right now. So I want her to be perpendicular to the ground. So I'm choosing 90 because I am starting to write my code from here. And this is about the X coordinate and Y coordinate. If I want to change it, where is she? Did you see that she just moved? If I want to change it here, let's say 30, and then she will move upward. So so you can also drag her and the coordinate will change. And then you can also change the coordinate as you go and you can put the numbers here. Looks like we have a message. School assignment on code.org. But if your school is asking you to work specifically on code.org assignments, you can work on those assignments. But if you can ask your teacher, because Scratch platform and code.org, they share the same platform and same kind of coding, which is drag and drop coding. So we're going to go into the coding part and going to show how it works. So you can ask your school administrator if you can make a project here and if you can share it on Scratch. They have the same platform, which is drag and drop coding, same format, and both of them, they are written in Java language. So the back end of this is Java and the front end is drag and drop coding. Thank you. So after you have one of the character here and one of the backdrop here, you can go ahead and you can go to the coding here. So for the coding, as you will see, there are a few options we have. We have motion. So it starts from motion, and then we have, they have. So we did a session on drag and drop. I'm sorry, we did a session on code.org last week, and looks like you were not there, but then they are the same platform, drag and drop coding. Code.org, it has more things. It has some things like artificial intelligence, and it also has some gaming, and it also has. So we did Flappy game. If you go to code.org and if you type Flappy games, you will see that Flappy game is pretty much like same as Scratch. Like you can drag and drop and you can write code. Okay, so let's talk about these code here. So so this right part of this right side of the Scratch platform canvas is how about you can choose a sprite from here, and how you choose a backdrop, and then how you can make how you can change specifications of your character or your backdrop. And then left side of the Scratch platform canvas is how you can write different kind of codes, how you can write different combination of codes in for your character. So you are writing code for your character here. So you have different things here. You have motion, you have looks. You can click on each of them and you can see what it says. So motion is like how do you want to move your character. Looks is like if your character is, want to say something. Sound is if you want to integrate any sound. Yes, you can integrate different sounds uh, with your character. I'm going to show you in a while how do we do that. And events is, so I kind of talked about this earlier. Excuse me. So events is how do you start and how do you make different changes to your character in the different movements. Excuse me. And then control is if you want to have a bigger code like if and else and forever repeat, if you want to repeat some motion for your character for the backdrop, and if you want to wait for a few seconds and all those things, those comes in control. Sensing, we have few things in sensing too. If you want to have different colors, if you want to have touching on mice pointer, and whenever you see this kind of drop down, it means it has more options. So if you will click on this drop down here, you will see what all options we have. For example, if we have key space pressed, I can click on this. It will show me what other options I have. And wherever you see these white things, it means you can delete and you can write whatever you want to write in those things. So operators, this is for some if you want to integrate some mathematical options. Variables also for if you want to create some variables and blocks. You can create your own block basically. Scratch is, I really like Scratch. The reason is they give you lot many options in sense of what do you want to integrate in all of your characters and backdrops and the code you're writing. They give you so many options, and then they also give you options for costumes. You can make your own costume. You can change it, and you can paint it, and then you can color it. If some of the kids say like this ballerina should be black instead of pink, so they can go and change the color to it, and they can put their own sounds, and they can increase the sound. They can make it faster, slower, louder, softer, and they can mute some part of it. So there are so many things that you can do in Scratch. It's phenomenal. So many things you can do. But this class is about basic. So we are going to start from pretty basic, and then you can research by yourself what all you can do. And in the next week, I'm going to take it to a further level to integrate some of the difficult things, some of the more interesting things that you can do in Scratch. So let's start from the very basic here. So the first thing that I would like to, ask you to try to go to your events. So you want to have something which will start your code, which will initiate your code. And one of our members today, one of our attendees, they had a question how to start. So whenever you want to start one of the code that you have written, you have to have one of the events that is going to happen. So you can say, when space key is pressed, then start my code. When the sprite is clicked, then start my code. You can choose any one of these. So I'm going to choose the basic one, which is when the flag is clicked. So you see flag here. So I'm going to say when flag is clicked, then start the code. So I'm going to write a small code here. So I'm going to go and then click on looks. And looks has few things here. So I'm going to write a code and whenever you are doing drag and drop coding, always make sure the rule is that the code, they should fit in each other. So for example, if I am taking this code here, this block of code from here, and if I'm putting it on the canvas where I'm writing all the codes, I want to make sure they fit in each other like this. This is the rule always. So I'm gonna say, think, am I going to, you guys can follow me along because I'm trying to show you the very basic thing, and then further you can practice it by yourself. So I just have a thing, I just written a code, then click on the green flag. My sprite, which is my character, which is Ballerina in this example, she's going to think, am I going to dance for 2 seconds? And then she's going to say, so I'm writing very small three-line code, and then I'm going to say, then she's going to say, yes, I am going to dance. And then she's going to say, yay. The another reason why I like Scratch is that you can create story building from this. So I am creating a story, what Ballerina is going to think when she goes on the stage, and what is she going to say when she is on the stage before she is going actually to dance. So why this is important? Because for kids it's very important to learn how to build story when they are in this age, because this helps them to think critically and this opens their mind. So all of the drag and drop coding, if you change different things and if you change patterns and how you work on this, they help them to create storylines, and they put all the storylines on their on these canvas. So this is also one of the reasons why I like Scratch and drag and drop coding, so that you can create a story by yourself. So now I have a code for 4 lines, my first code, and I am saying when green flag is clicked, then Ballerina, my character, is going to think, am I going to dance for 2 seconds? And then she's going to say, yes, I'm going to dance for 2 seconds. And then she's going to say, yay. So at any moment you want to learn, you want to see if your code is working, you can choose the event that you have started. So I have chosen this event, and then now I can see before writing the further part of my code, that is this part of code working for me. So I'm going to click on green here, which says the flag. So I'm going to click on flag, and I'm going to see that my code is working. Do you guys see that? So I just clicked on this, and I can click on the stop icon anytime, and the code will stop. And if I want to start it again, I'm going to click on go, and it's saying, am I going to dance? Yes, I'm going to dance. And then yay. So I just wrote a code of 3 lines, which my Ballerina is saying all these 3 things, and it's working for me. And if I want, I can click on full screen here, and I can see it looks very good on full screen for sure. So if you want to try your small code, and you can even go, yeah, this is the maximum screen. So you can click on this one, the green icon, and then this is going follow the code that you just said. So you can write your code. Looks like we have some message here. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is the code that we have here. So you can start writing your code also. And then this is very small code that we have just written for 3 lines. And then if you want to, as I said, if you want to check if this code works for you, then you can click on go, and then you can see that if it is working for you. So the first round of code is working for me, which is these 3 lines. Now let's go to events and now see if we can write more code about this. So now I have just made a story for my Ballerina, that she's thinking that is she going to dance? And then she's saying, yes, I'm going to dance. And then she's going to say, yes, I'm going to dance. Okay, so now the other thing that I can do is I can also make some motion movement for Ballerina, so it looks like she's dancing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose when space key pressed, so you can choose this one. And then, as I told you earlier, if I'm going to click on drop down, I can use any of these from here. So it's like I can choose anything on my keyboard. So I'm going to click on up arrow. So I'm going to say when up arrow key pressed, and I'm going to go motion. And then I'm going to click on turn 15-degree right side. And then I'm going to click here and choose this one. You can do it like this, or you can also duplicate this. So if you want to duplicate this, click on right click with your touchpad, or right click with your mouse if you're using a mouse in case you're using a desktop. Right click on this one and click on duplicate. So there will be two like this. So you put it here, and then you choose different thing for here. So I'm going to choose down key, down arrow key. And for motion, I want a different one, 15-degree from the other side. And always remember, when this is a white thing here, you can change this. So if I, for example, if I wanted 20 degrees, so I can choose it. I can just select it and I can delete it and choose it to 20 degrees. So now I have my second line of code, which is if I click on up arrow, Ballerina is going to turn 20 degrees right. And if I have down arrow, she's going to turn left 20 degrees. So let's see if it works. So I'm going to click on the green icon again, which says green flag. So she's going to say all the things that we just saw. And then I am clicking on my up arrow now. And then she's going to be on the right hand side. Do you guys see? And then if I'm click on right, so you can keep clicking, and it looks like she's dancing. I'll not go too far, otherwise she will look like she's falling, but then it will create a character of her that she is dancing and she's moving herself. So this is the code that we just wrote for her motion. And then we can write more codes from here. So we can go to events, and then we can also, so we can click on this one, and then we can choose right arrow and then go to sound. Let's go to motion and let's do something with the right arrow. Go to, and always remember, if you have this, you can choose it here. I'm going to choose mouse pointer, so I can click here and she will go to that position. Okay, and then if I want to play any sound, and then I can choose a sound from here, pop sound until done. Okay, let's see how this works. Click on the green because this is the icon for event to start. So I'm going to click on green flag. And this is working with up arrow. And then you will see that the portion of the code the ballerina is following, this will become highlighted. So if I'm clicking on up arrow, you will see this up arrow will be highlighted on my screen. And if I am clicking down arrow will be highlighted. Now I'm going to press right arrow and see if it works. Yeah, so she just moved to the pointer here. That was too far, and she made a pop sound. So wherever you have your mouse, for example, if I have it here, and if I have my mouse here, oh, sorry, that was. So yeah, so you can write a different code, and then you can just make her move however you want. Let's see if I can find some of more codes in motion. And then you can also say move steps. So if I'm going to see and click on events, and then when left arrow, so say when A is pressed, then move 10 steps. So I'm gonna press A. So she's moving some steps here, 10 steps to be exact. So she's moving in the point of view now. Yeah, just let me know, write me messages if this code working for you guys or if you have any problem following this. And then, so this is the basic example of how you can write codes and how it works for you. And you can just write so many codes. You can just write, long line of codes and codes for yourself. And then this is going to, tell you how it works, and it will give you messages here. And then always remember, wherever you have this white thing, that you can change it here. And then when you have a drop down here like this, you can click on the drop down and you can choose from all the options you have in the drop down menu. Yeah, so let's see what looks has. Next question. So you can switch. Oh, so I was talking in the starting, I was talking you about switch costume. So you can also choose this, and you can, so this is Ballerina D, so you can change this to Ballerina A when A is pressed. So this whole code is saying, when I press A, she's going to move 10 steps, and then she's going to change her costumes to Ballerina B. So let's see how it works. I'll click on this, and then click on A. Yeah, so she just changed. See, she just changed her costumes. So this is the different type of ballerina, A, B, C, D. So you can choose, 4 different types from the sprites, from the character we have. So this is different one. And then if you want to, let's see how is the C one. So you have to click on stop before you go, and then choose C from here, and then click on the green event starter, and then press A. So this is the 4th type here. So you can really look like her that she's dancing. So let's start it from very start here. So go to ballerina, and then I'm going to delete this one, and then I just have this one, and then yeah, so you can go and write choose different ballerinas to it, and you can also write different combination of code for this. Yeah, so yeah, just keep going and keep playing with this. Try to write different codes and try to write different combination of codes, and also try to change different backdrops from here. So you can choose theater from here. So this will change for you. And then there is also, if you go to looks, and then you can also choose switch backdrop to spotlight. For example, if I have when this is pressed, so if I have when space key is pressed, switch backdrop to spotlight. So if I click on the green, and then I click on, so I just click space and it changes it to spotlight. And if I click on stop, the code will stop for me. So you can go and you can play with different codes, and also try to make different combination of codes. And then it looks like we have 3 more minutes here. So I'm going to wait for these 3 minutes if any one of you has any questions or any concern, and then we'll be working, and I'll suggest you to keep working on this and make any of, some of the small projects that you can make. And next week we are going to take this to further level, and I'm going to teach you some of the things from the sensing operators, variables. So I'm going to show you a very, integrated code that we can make, and we can also make really like game and animation things. So I'm going to show you how animation can be made in Scratch, integrated the same platform and same code. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Please write us an email if you have any question on, or you can write me on the chat message box. Just start, keep playing with this. So I will advise you to start with a very small project. Just write 4 lines code or 5-line code project, and then also keep trying to add different events and keep trying to add different sounds to it and looks to it. And then also go ahead and try to see if you can change backdrop to, or if you can change your characters, different shapes and different size. It'll be fun. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I'm here for 2 more minutes. If you have any questions or any information that you want to know, how do you use the gallery on the tablet? You mean gallery on do you have a tablet device? Well, don't you see the options? Oh, wow, that's so sweet of you. Favorite dog named Prince. So you don't see that options on the right-hand side about the characters, about the sprites? Yeah, so if you see them, you click on the sprite and then go to different, you can go to animals, and then I'm pretty sure you have, oh no, who lets you? Well, to be very honest, I haven't used this application on any tablet before, so I don't know. But then for your question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do space, and then I'm going to get an iPad from there, and I'm going to see if it works, and then I'm going to give you the answer if there's something specific that you need to do. Oh, your picture. Okay, okay. So you want to upload a picture, basically, yes? Oh, okay, okay. You want to upload a picture. So let me see. There's a way you can do it. Let me see. Yeah, so it's here. So when you click on choose a sprite, you follow these things here. You go and click on upload sprite. So you click on upload sprite, and then you will be able to choose. Do you see it opened my download options? So you just choose a picture for your dog from your download, like it has my picture. So I can choose my picture like this, and I can click on open, and this will import your picture. See, now this is me in the import. So you can import your dog picture, just download any of the picture and then click on upload, and then it will work for you. It won't let you. Well, it just happened for me. So just want to make sure, just want to make sure they are in JPEG format. That is very important. Because, if they are not in the format what Scratch support, then it will not work for you. How do I make a new sprite? Yes, you're welcome. So you can also click on, paint. You can create your own sprite. Like you can create like one from here. I didn't get your question. I'm sorry. Can you be more specific? Like, how do I make a new sprite? Thank you, Ivan. I hope it works for you. Just change the format and then it will work for you, because it just worked for me. I uploaded a picture. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Elena. Yes. Well, good luck with this. And thank you so much, guys, for joining me here. I hope it will work for you. And then, write us any question you have. It's hello. It's hello@dospace.org is our email address. And then I'm going to show you some new things next week. So that'll be nice too. It's a Samsung Galaxy Tab A. So Evan, just want to make sure that you have this JPEG format, because I use let me see, what format did I use. So yeah, so I have a JPG file. Yeah, perfect. You're most welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to show you some other things next week, like creating an animation. So yeah, the kids love those. So you are saying that you have JPG file format? Oh, let's see JPEG file work for me. Well, it's working for me, the other thing too. Oops, that's like a Facebook meme. Okay. So I'm gonna delete this one and this one too. Yeah, so this is just all saying that all this is about Zoom, because we are doing so much things on Zoom. I just saw it on Facebook and I found it funny, because every business is on Zoom now, so Zoom is getting benefit out of it, basically. Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining, guys. And then I'm going to disconnect the session now, because we need Zoom for other sessions from 6 onward. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see you next week. Keep working on Zoom. And then now you can upload pictures of your pet from here, upload sprite. And then you can do things with your favorite characters or with your pets, all those things. Keep working on this. And if you would like to share your project, and then you can share your projects in next week meeting we have, and then I can give you some advice on those too. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.